Alright, what's up, YouTubers, old school gamers? This is Minotaur. This is one of the best games ever made by the Intellivision system. I'm tired of all the worthless videos out there on the internet. I'm putting the last video you'll ever need to watch regarding Minotaur. I am a 10th level black belt at this game. There's very few people inhabiting this earth that are better at this game than me, and I'm going to show you the best way to master this game. Now, first off, check the map with the top left button there. Gotta get familiar with what's going on here. Okay, that's me flashing right there, top left of the screen. I chose this particular map because, as you can see, it goes all the way across. This will make more sense later. But these are, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different shots at level 1. And I'm going to use it. And then if things go right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different shots at level 2 before moving deeper. And you can see here at level 12 is where the Minotaur itself is located. And how you win the game, you kill the Minotaur and you get the treasure. Alright, now, as you can see, in the lower left-hand corner you have the direction you're facing once you get back to the map, and you would have to proceed west, pardon me, you have to proceed east to travel to the right there, and there's varying gates, varying colors of gates in between each level, and it's very important. No video has ever talked about the gates between the levels or the color of the level that you're playing. Green here below me, it's kind of hard, my color's not real good, but these are kind of brownish. They look green, but these first four are a mix of spiritual and a mix of non-spiritual weapons. I'm at a loss for the name, but we'll call it physical weapons and spiritual weapons. Blue levels are spiritual monsters only. Green, which this is the actual green here, level 3 and 4 below me. Green is strictly the physical monsters. They throw physical attacks at you. And what I'm in right now is considered a mix of the two. You'll see both spiritual and physical monsters. This is your spiritual score. That goes down to 0. You die. That's your physical score. Spiritual score is right there. That goes down to 0. You die. On the current level that I'm at, we could see both physical and spiritual monsters. So I have to be on guard. You start with strictly a bow, which is ranked at level 6, or it's a 6. That's the kind of damage level it does. It's a 6. It's the weakest bow in the game. It's a physical weapon. It's on the physical side. This is your physical health. This is your physical armor. This is your physical weapon. This is your spiritual health, your spiritual armor, and your spiritual weapon power. You just start with a bow and arrows. I play this game a little bit differently because I play it better than most people on the planet. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. First and foremost, remember I said you'd have to head east? Well, as you can see, we're already as far east as we can get. We'd run into the wall. So we're going to turn south and look for the gate in between levels. That is an orange gate. Doesn't affect anything. You can go through it. It won't affect your physical, and it won't affect your spiritual health. Some gates, a blue gate, for example, is what I really am looking for early on in the game. A blue gate, it halves your physical points. It cuts it in half, and it adds spiritual points. Okay, so a blue gate early in the game is what I'm really looking for because of the way I play. I have a bow. I am looking, this doesn't make sense right away, but for some of you it might. I am looking to run out of arrows as soon as possible. Use all my arrows up and never pick up another arrow until much later in the game. I'll explain why. Very critical is finding food. Food, I'll show you what food looks like when we spot it. That's a spiritual weapon. I'll pick it up simply because I have nothing else. You pick up and drop things with the number 1 button. Number 1 button picks up items. Swap item in your pack is the number 6 button. I am swapping items, and you rotate your pack with 3. Rotate it all around, which doesn't, not really necessary at the time. As you can see, either one of the top buttons checks the map. Top side buttons, that is. Check the map. Count your food with the lower left-hand button. And you count your arrows with the bottom right-hand button. Okay, I got a lot of arrows to get rid of, but we'll do that hopefully soon. Okay, so I picked up that spiritual weapon. That is a physical weapon. That's an axe. It's not a bad one for level 1. It's worth like 17. I think 21. There you go. So that's a pretty stout first level weapon. I'm going to put that in my pack. Another weak spiritual weapon there. Okay, now I hit the retreat button. Very important button for you to get accustomed with. It saves time and it saves your ass sometimes. That's as the 0 button is retreat. It takes you back to the last square you were on. That's a hidden door in front of me. Opening, you open doors with the 4. And you can see that. That's a little bit better look at it. Maybe you can read that. The 4 corresponds with opening doors. Okay, I happen to know that that's an ant on the other side of that door. And it's a spirit. It attacks your spiritual score, which you can see mine is a 6 right now. That's merely a 6. Very low, but if I attack quickly, I should get 2 arrows off and kill this damn ant and waste 2 arrows. The attack button is 7. So after I open the door with 4, I'm going to attack with 7 as quick as I can. Oh, okay, I screwed up and used the scroll, and totally not what I wanted to do. I rested, by the way, and got back up. This time I'm going to pay attention and at least waste 1 arrow, hopefully 2. Just happened to be 2 ants next to each other. Now, after a battle, you can see my spiritual score, because he used spiritual weapons to attack me, went down 2. Remember, if that goes to 0, it goes meow, meow. You'll hear a noise that goes meow, meow, and you die. And that's no fun. So I'm going to rest and get that back up to 6. This started at 12. It didn't go down because he attacked me with a spiritual weapon. This is my physical score. However, I used a physical weapon. So quite possibly that will go higher than 12 because I've gained experience with a physical weapon. And it did. And that's an important key to this game, especially early on. I just got a higher physical score that I started with. Remember, I'm going to go into this one next with the gate, and it was an orange gate, which remember, that you're going to get this a little bit later. It doesn't change any of your attributes, but I'm going to go into that later. By the time we get all the way over here, if we can continue along, that, remember, is a spiritual level where they only attack spiritual. Well, I'm working on physical now, okay, which will be good for these 2 down here. Remember, physical levels, only physical creatures that shoot physical and hit you for physical damages in the green, but I'll show you what I'm doing here. Right, so basically I'm just exploring this level. Most important thing, especially early on, I want food. Those are arrows. Those are arrows. I don't want them. Not interested at all. And I'll explain why later. Something no video I've ever seen talks about is how when you go around a corner, when there's certain things like that, that's a ladder right there, okay? See that ladder? That's a ladder. You use that to go deeper into the dungeon. I don't want to do that. I want to stay on level 1 as long as possible. But watch how when I turn, it changes a little bit. The little picture changes. That's a clue. That I don't know if that was intentional or a glitch in the game. I don't care. It's a clue. If you look at it very carefully, it's actually changing into that quiver of arrows, letting you know there's a quiver of arrows around. I don't know if you can see that, but look at the shape here of the quiver. See the quiver of arrows? Now watch the ladder kind of take that shape for just a brief moment. If you can see that. But it does that with a lot of different things. Sometimes there's a ring, there's a skeleton. Okay, sometimes there's a ring. I'm probably going to kill this guy with 1 arrow. It'd be nice if it took 2, but He's pretty weak, about the weakest creature in the game there. Skeleton. I'm resting to see if my 13 went up to 14. It didn't. But that's where food comes into play. The more food you have, the more you can rest, and you run out of food, you can't get those numbers up until you find more food or a potion that will take you up. Okay, this particular layout, you'll see 2 doors here. There's another weak spiritual weapon. Whenever you see this layout, you know that there's a door here, obviously, and a door here, but there's going to be a hidden door on either side of these rooms. I just happen to know the layout. Spent many hours playing this game. Okay, I hit retreat. Remember, retreat is the 0 button. And I know that guy's there. I'm just prepared for him now. I'm going to take... this guy attacks with an axe. Not as powerful, I don't think, as the axe I have right here. But he attacks. He's going to drop my 13. I'm going to have to attack fast because this guy hits a little bit harder. And I have, as you can see, 0 physical armor. So I'm going to try attack first. And I didn't. So I'm in trouble. And I almost died because he got the first shot. I'm going to rest and use up a lot of food. As you can see, though, I jumped up to a 15. That gave me 2 points for beating that guy. And that's good. You know, starting to... Oops, I glanced to the left. One thing I didn't teach you, you can glance with clear and enter. I entered that room like an idiot because, let me show you again. A lot of times, as you enter a room like this, you can't see what's on your left. A lot of times there'll be a monster right there. And if you come in here and you're lazy, that thing will attack you. So a lot of times, really, you want to enter a room, if you can enter a room like this, without stopping. Because a lot of times, right in this corner here, there'll be a monster hiding. So you never want to enter a room in a blind spot and just stop. Like this. Okay, ooh, there's a ring on the ground. That's going to help me, it's going to change both of these, my defense. This is my first defensive item. It's primarily a spiritual item. Rings are awesome, especially early on, because you can see you start with a mere 6 for spiritual hit points. Okay, I'm going to pick it up with a 1, pick it up with a 1, and you use it with a 5. And watch these 2 change. Use. Okay, 2 and 5. That's about the weakest ring in the game, but much needed at this point with me only having a 6 for spiritual hit points. I already checked that room, sorry. All right, now I'm going to go back to these doors. There's a little, that's a little lightning bolt. And there are bigger lightning bolts later. That's one of the weaker spiritual, oops, forgot my bow. One of the weaker spiritual items as well. Let's do a quick arrow count. See how many arrows I have left. 1 arrow. Perfect. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. Why that? Okay, that is what I call a package or a present, and it contains probably gold or something cheesy. You can see my score. I don't have a score yet, but as you collect gold and treasure, that will go up. Now remember, I'm not going to be a sucker and stop right in front of that. I'm going to run past it, make sure there's not a monster hiding. Oh, and there's one right there. Okay, if there's 2 monsters, I'm screwed. Okay, that's just a weak little skeleton, but I'm going to open the package. Remember, just like opening a door, 4, you hit number 4. And it's a key, and that's great, especially early on. Keys are wonderful because you'll find other packages. That particular one I just opened doesn't require a key to open, but many packages do, and the ones that require a key usually have better stuff in them. So that's a good thing to have early on. I'm going to attack this little neophyte with my last arrow, and now I am out of arrows. Oh, and I went up to 16. Here's the arrow counter once again. Lower right hand button. Let's see. Nothing. Nothing. That means I'm out of arrows, and that's wonderful. And I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to check my food. I am out of food. That is not wonderful. My number 1 goal is to find food, which they call, I think, a sack of flour. There's the gate that's going to take me to the next level 1. As you can see, I'm all the way on the eastern side. It's going to take me into the second level 1. And basically, I'm not going to do it just yet, but if that was blue, that would be a lot better because I'd go through it and it would take my 16 physical hit points down to 8, which isn't great, but it would raise my spiritual hit points, which are so low. So really I'm looking for a blue gate, a green gate. If that was a green gate, I wouldn't even go through it, because it does just the opposite. It would raise my 16 and lower my 6 spiritual hit points to a 3, which would be damn near tragic. Alright, so let's explore this level a little bit more. Going into the interior part of the level. Okay, it's probably a dead end. I'm going to glance. Once again, you can glance around the corner with enter to the right. And if I was facing, say, this way, I could glance to the left with clear. Glance is pretty important. You don't want to go around blind corners, especially later on. That is a physical weapon. Oh, did you see it change? Oh, I saw food. It changed into a package, though. Watch. See, just for a second, it changed into one of those packages. So there's a package, a little present with goodies in it somewhere. But I'm going to get that. First, I'm going to pick that up. It's 21. It is the same as the axe. It's a more powerful weapon, but it's a less powerful color. It's kind of light orange. The dark orange axe is a higher level. That's better. Like if I had a dark orange bow, instead of 6, it would be a 9. But I'm going to pick it up. I have enough empty spots in my pack that I can just keep those weapons. That, my friends, is food. The most important thing, especially for the way I play. Now listen, I don't have any food right now. I'm going to hit the lower left-hand button. Nothing. I'm going to pick it up with the 1. Now listen. Wonderful. I'm going to hit rest again just in case I'm not at full strength. And I am at full strength, but I have food again, and that is... Oh, look at that. Pure luck. I'm going to pick it up and hit retreat. Whoop. Just because I wanted to. Alright, let's listen to the food now. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Lots of food. I'm going to glance right. There's the package I said. I don't know if you remember, that spear was kind of changing into a package. Let's open it up. We got gold. But before I pick it up... Okay, there's the main screen. I have nothing. I have 0. Let me pick it up with a 1. Pick it up and... Woohoo! I have 10 points. Alright. Which is pretty shitty, but... yeah, that'll go up. Wow, another package. Oh, and another package. These are 2 different packages that do not require a key. Probably both have little gold in them. There's another key. Don't need it. Already have a key. And another key. That's kind of rare. Alright, well, if I drop this key... Wow, look, 3 keys. Okay, that's just stupid. I'm wasting time. Sorry. Okay. Oh, there's a lightning bolt. That's a little bit better than the one I have. What's this one I have? Is worth 9. I'll say that one's worth 12. 13. That's close. Okay, so now when we find shields later on, you put them right here, and you swap hands with the number 2. I'm going to put that where my shield would go, just because I'm going to hold on to it, and it's doing me no good there, other than it's just an extra spot to store something. Okay, this guy... I forget what they call this monster. I'll go ahead and call him a dwarf, alright? Because there's a giant later on that looks like a long, stretched out, tall version of him, and those are called giants, so I'll call this guy a dwarf. He has a shield. You'll see the same character without a shield, and he's a weaker character, if it's not a different color, that is. This is the weakest color. It's a yellow. You'll see these in light orange, and the ones in dark orange shoot some really powerful weapons, especially early on. You don't really see the dark oranges until you get to like level 3, maybe. He shoots a spiritual weapon. I have a 6, which is pretty weak, but I do have a 5. Now I'm going to show you real quick. I don't know, this is a bit risky, but I'm going to take one shot with my arrow, with my bow. Remember, I'm out of arrows, so it's just going to blink, but it's like using it, except you don't have an arrow. It'll make sense in a second. Here we go. I hope this guy doesn't kill me. He might kill me, but I'm going to immediately follow my shot without an arrow with this. So I'm going to swap hands like this. Whoop, I'm going to put that spear in, and I'm going to finish him off with the spear. I certainly hope the spear finishes him, because if he gets 2 shots, he might kill me. We'll find out. Here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take one more shot. I'm gonna take one more shot with the bow. Okay. As you can see, he took me down 2. I ended up finishing him off with the spear, but watch this. I guarantee this 16 goes up as well. Went up to a 17, okay. And basically why I want to run out of arrows is because as I get stronger, I want to find a really weak monster like that skeleton we saw earlier. And because he doesn't really do damage on you. If I can find a little skeleton like that and just take like 6 shots without an arrow, I just keep like this. Here we go. Okay. I wasn't prepared, but here we go. Okay. All right. He hurt me a little bit. Oh, he hurt me a lot more in a little bit there. Okay. I'll take one more shot. All right. I finished him off with the axe, but I guarantee I go up higher than a 17. There's an 18. See, we're moving on up, and we're just on level 1. That was a stupid way to enter a room. Okay, that is the lowest level shield, but it's going to provide more than a 2 defense. Okay, so let's get the lightning bolt out of the way. I'll swap hands. I'll hit 6 and put it back in the pack. Swap pack. Swap hands. Okay, pick it up with 1. Swap hands 2. Pick my bow back up. As you can see, I have a 2 when I equip the shield. It's now a 7. Okay, that's a lot better. Now I'd really like to find that skeleton again because I have more defense as well as more hit points. Okay. There's another little present. Let's open it up. Another key. Wow. It's like 4 keys. Alright, I think I've depleted this level enough. I've explored this level enough that I'm going to head east, which I must... well, let's go back this way. Oh, let's take a peek at that door first. I'm on the outer perimeter of the hallway. The maze is kind of inside. It's like a big square. I'm going around the outside. Just going to peek down there. There's a ladder. Don't want to use it. Just headed east, because we want to go to the next level, and that's what it sounds like. Nothing changed because it was a orange gate. Now let's continue heading east. Before we go into the maze, we're gonna head east and figure out what color the next gate is between the level I'm in and the next level over. So we're going to head all the way east. Please be blue, please be blue, please be blue. It is blue. Okay, this is wonderful. All right, this is how you win this game. Getting, oh, more food. I wonder, that's just incredible. I love food. Okay, here we go. I want to retreat, even though I didn't need to. All right, now the only problem is I have no arrows and I have only one-shot weapons, but this is a very weak monster. When I see one-shot weapons, I use them and they're done. Everything you see in my pack, the 2 lightning bolts and the 2, whatever those things are called. There are repeating spiritual weapons. They're called scrolls. I'll find one of those eventually. But hopefully I can take like 4 or 5 shots at this skeleton without any arrows, mind you, because I didn't pick them up. I ran out on purpose because this is a weak monster. And I have 7 defense. So here we go. I'm going to even let him... No, I'm going to shoot first there. Okay, so he's got 3. He knocked me down 3, which is hard to believe. He's so weak. There we go. Alright, I'm just taking shots without arrows. Yeah, see, that first shot for 3 was just a fluke. He's going to eventually knock me down to about 12 or... Yeah, you know. Keep going until I get to around 8, 7 or 8. See how I'm just taking a bunch of shots? If you recall, I think I started with an 18. This is how much food I have, by the way. A lot of food, so I'll take one more shot. I got plenty of food. Okay, now I'll take one more shot, and it's time to start thinking about finishing this guy off. One more. There we go. Bye. You did. Now, theoretically, it is possible that my 6, which never went down, could go up a little bit, like to 7, because I did use a spiritual weapon to finish him, but mostly I was shooting with my bow without arrows. I actually did no physical damage with that bow, but by taking so many shots, it's like I was using it. Watch this. I'm going to hit rest. Remember, I started with an 18. I'm at a 26. I just went up 8 points for beating the chintziest, weakest little neophyte skeleton piece of garbage in the game. And basically, that is one of my main secrets. Now, by the way, so for those of you that want to claim I'm cheating or something by doing this, you're an idiot. Because first off, I didn't program this game, and the nerds that program this game are way smarter than me. So if the nerds that program this game, if you're saying I'm cheating, you're saying that they didn't mean to do that on purpose. The guys that were smart enough to figure out how to make this game made a mistake, and my dumbass figured it out. No. I disagree with that. What I'm doing is I'm exploiting part of the game. I'm not even exploiting. I'm utilizing part of the game that the nerds that made this game left in there for smart people like me to find. If that makes any sense. Oh, a potion. This is very cool because this little blue potion, I say little, you'll see other potions that look kind of the same shape but with a flat top. This blue potion with a little cross on top would bring you back all the way up. It brings your health all the way back up no matter what it is, which is very important if you run out of food. So I'm going to save that for later and might need to use it. Or I could fight another little skeleton, let him bring me all the way down to like 3 or 4, and then finish him off and use the potion and go all the way back up, which would save me a lot of food. But still, just picking that up to fill my pack. Okay, now this guy, remember, this ant, he attacks my spiritual, which is still pretty weak. But I have more armor than the first time I fought one of these guys, so I'll have my strongest weapon as a backup that I'll switch to when I feel like I've got low enough. Okay, he knocked me down 1. That's enough, because I don't want to die. Alright, I probably should have took one more shot, but oh, I went up anyway. I went up to a 7. I was at a 6. And just because I took that one shot with the bow, I went up from a 26 to a 28. So that was both categories going up. That was cool. Is that the same color? I think that's the same color as what I have. Yeah, same color, doesn't matter. I hit swap, you couldn't tell because there was no difference. Okay, so remember we have a blue gate waiting for us, so you can finally see what all my hard work is about if you haven't figured out what I'm going to do. Like right now, if I went through the gate, oh, there's a scroll. That's a repeating. It's worth 5. It's not the weakest scroll. There are blue scrolls that shoot 3s, but see, this lightning bolt's worth 9, but it's only and this weapon, for instance, it's worth 5. It does 5 points of damage spiritually, but then it's gone once you use it. Well, this one you can shoot a bunch of times. It's like a bow. So I'm going to have that as my backup behind my empty bow without arrows because right now I want to kill every monster that's left on this level because we're about to go into a blue gate. Remember, from here to here is a blue gate, which is going to drop whatever number this is by half and add a bunch of points over to this one, to my spiritual. It's going to go from physical to spiritual. So I'd like to get my... Oh, that guy's pretty tough. But well, for level 1, I'm going to take one shot. Oh, shit, I'm in trouble. I think... Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my potion, even though I don't want to, but otherwise I'm going to die. So I kind of screwed up, but I'm going to use the potion, and then I'm going to change to my strongest... Yeah, I'm going to change to my 9. Okay, so let's use this. And I took care of him. Alright, so I did gain a point there. Nothing there. This guy, this is like I call him a lobster. That was just what you saw me pick up in that package, was just more money. As you can see, I'm at a 60 now. This guy shoots a lightning bolt. And honestly, I don't know if I want to fight him. I'll take one. This could be risky. There's a 9. Lightning bolt. I'll take one shot with my bow. This could be risky, but let's see what happens. Okay, not too risky. And my 29 should go up. And it didn't. Alright, well, that's okay. I'm looking to go up one more point so that when I go through the blue gate, it'll drop me down to 15. It might drop me down to 14. Oh, that's a perfect monster to fight. He has a shield, so he's a little bit defensively stronger than just a skeleton standing there without a shield. But here we go. I'll be able to take a lot of shots at this guy. Remember, I'm starting with a 29. Attacking with no arrows. I can do this for a while. See, this is when it would have come in handy if I hadn't messed up and I would have still had that blue potion. I could take this all the way down to like a 3, and that blue potion would have took me all the way back up. But if I hadn't used the potion when I did, I would have died and looked like an amateur, which I am not. I am one of the greatest Minotaur players ever. I never called it Minotaur growing up. It was like Treasure of Tarum or something like that. But it's called Minotaur in the throwback Intellivision that you can purchase for $40. My opinion, this game alone is worth the price of the entire unit. There's some other cool games. I like Astro Smash. Some other games. But this is number 1. Minotaur is the shit. Alright, so, a little bit boring, but I'm going to have far more than the 30 points I was hoping for before going through that gate. Unless I run out of food. Let's do a quick food count. Yeah, get a little low on food. Let's finish this guy off and see where we're at. Okay, so I was at 29 to start. Let's check food first. Rest with number 8 on the keypad. Wow, 39. And my spiritual went up, as you can see, because I finished him off with a scroll. Let's see how much food I have left. 2. Okay, so you can see real quickly why food is so important. Now I need one more monster because I want to go up to a 40 before going through that. Ooh, what's that? That, my friends, is a piece of armor. It's going to take my 7 up to around a 10, maybe. It's a helmet. Picking it up. 9. Okay, not bad. Oh man, I need to find one more monster because I want to get my full benefits of going through that blue gate. So hopefully, I don't know if I'm going in circles here. That happens sometimes. Obviously, I haven't been here because there's a package. Oh, now that's an interesting item. That's a book. And a book that looks like that with the little dot that you can see in the front, that would change my 8 to blue, which means that you develop that attribute much quicker than if it wasn't blue, like it is now yellow. If you see another book like this that has an open top, that's a physical book that would change my, what is now a 39, it's going to be about a 20 here in a minute, but it would change my physical hit points blue, and I would work on those quicker. I'm going to hang on to this until I start working on my spiritual attributes. But here I am on level 1. I'm only in my second maze on level 1. I've almost got 40 points, almost have 40 points physical, which is going to change, but it's going to balance out. I'm going to balance out that 8 spiritual points here in a minute. Got a lot of things good going for me already. I'm setting up to beat this game. I need one more monster. That's that 3-powered scroll I was telling you about. I'll hang on to that as a little backup, because scrolls, although they're repeating weapons, they break sometimes and just disappear if you use them a lot. So it's good to have a backup. I need one more monster before going through.